So today we're going to be talking about the top 5 strongest 5-star units here in Honkai Star Rail. Let's just get right into it. Before we move on, guys, make sure you guys subscribe, like the video if you like the video, and share this around. Now, I want you guys to take one thing in note is that these characters are the characters that were available in closed beta and the characters that I believe will also be available in the game's launch. There are other 5 stars that they did show and they have gameplay and stuff, but those are going to be limited banner characters that are going to be coming later down the line from what we saw and from what we played. We also got confirmation on the 2 5-star limited banner units that are going to be here on launch, and that has been confirmed, so at least we know that. And one of the first 5-star banner units that we're going to be getting that I just mentioned, his name is Jin Yuan, and he is a 5-star lightning unit. Now this unit is a total monster when it comes to AoE and when it comes to single target damage. Now in this game, when characters do AoE damage, most of the time they excel in that more than single target damage. But with Jin Yuan, his case is a little different. Now the way he works is he has like this huge lightning lord creature beside him that comes and fights alongside him, that thing right there, which is Beastie. And the way he works is the more stacks that lightning lord gets, the stronger his damage is going to be. And he's a complete separate entity as well. As you guys can see right here in the left side, that is lightning lord, and he gets his own base attack stat and speed, and the more stacks you get on that, the more harder he's going to be able to hit. And you get stacks by using his ultimate, like this right here. This is his ultimate, and also using his E skill that costs 1 skill point. And the max that he can get is 10 stacks lightning lord. Now even though lightning lord is an AoE damager, remember you still have Jin Yuan doing separate damage as well on top of lightning lord. And so even if it's going to be a single target unit, it's still going to hit him really hard because the lightning lord will be able to hit him, and Jin Yuan will also be able to hit him. Now the downside of Jin Yuan, everything sounds all great and all that, right, and pretty broken honestly, but he does have a weakness, guys, and his weakness is if he does get crowd controlled, his lightning lord will not be able to attack. So you want to make sure that you bring people that dispel any debuffs on him, on Jin Yuan, that gives him like stun, freeze, or anything that stops basically crowd control effects. That's going to be very important when it comes to Jin Yuan. Now this unit, like I said, is going to be a monster, and he is going to be a 5-star limited banner unit, but he will be the second banner unit that we'll be getting. But he's definitely the one that definitely has my eye the most as far as when it comes to the first 2 limited banner units that we're going to be getting. Jin Yuan is a monster, does a lot of AoE damage and single target damage, and he is one of the best lightning unit that we have in the game, but we won't have him when the game launches right away. And just to mention, I forgot to tell you guys, his E, his skill ability, the one that costs 1 skill point, is this huge AoE slash that does really good damage, and it basically hits everyone. It's not just to the adjacent enemies that's next to the enemy, it's literally anyone on the field. Now when he is off the field, his technique basically gives him more stacks for his lightning lord, so that's gonna help him out a lot. Now next we got Sila, which is a 5-star quantum unit, and she is going to be the first limited banner unit that we will be getting here in Honkai Star Rail. I probably should have talked about her first, but I was too excited about Jin Yuan. But I'm still very excited about Sila because she is going to be doing a bunch of damage, and the way she works basically, guys, is she wants to get kills, and whenever she gets a kill, she will get her an extra turn, and then on top of that she will get a huge damage boost, which will help her do even more damage on that extra turn. That's basically Sila in a nutshell. You want to try to pair her up with supports that give her a lot of damage boosting potential, so she can go ahead and try to get resets on her talent, which is her passive, right? And the more turns she gets, the more damage she's going to do, obviously. But also another thing is that Sila is also the fastest unit that we have here in Honkai Star Rail. So speed plays a big part in turn-based games, guys, because this turn gauge right here, the faster you are, the more turns you'll be able to get, or if you're faster than the other opponent, you'll be able to overlap them and take even more turns. So Sila is really good at that because not only is she the fastest unit in the game, she also gives herself a speed buff with her E ability, which is amazing, and it flows really well with her kit. Now her basic attack is just a single target basic attack that does quantum damage, but her main thing is you're gonna want to basically get those resets so that you can go ahead and do damage to the enemies. Now the only thing people have concerns about Sila is that there are going to be bosses that they do bring ads or like extra enemies, but like if that boss doesn't bring like extra enemies, she won't be able to have that extra turn potential. But even though she won't have that, she's still the fastest unit in the game, so she'll still take a lot of turns to do a lot of damage. But that is a big part of her kit, is getting that extra turn. But Sila is still a solid unit, guys, and definitely a top tier DPS as well. And like I said, she is like basically a single target cleaver, right? She takes out enemies, goes next, takes out enemies, goes next. And her ultimate does huge single target damage as well, and it also gives her a damage boost as well. So yeah, that's Sila in a nutshell. Then next we got Yongxing. He is a 5-star ice unit, and he is honestly one of my favorite units that you can get in the beginner banner. Now he's one of the units that are going to be in the standard banner. He's not gonna be on the limited banners like the first 2 units I showed you guys, but don't be fooled by that. Just because this guy is probably the best damaging unit in the game, single target damaging unit in the game right now that we have, and that's his first skill ability, right, where he shoots out some swords and basically boosts his crit and crit damage, right? And then you can follow that up with his ultimate, which will also give him more crit damage and crit, and then it'll do a bunch of damage, which is good, guys, because then you don't have to worry about building so much crit on this character specifically. And then in his kit, he also has something that he can freeze the enemy as well, which is good. It's a single target freeze, and it has a 60% chance of proc, and I think it can go higher when you upgrade it in traces. But yeah, probably if not the highest damage dealing unit in the game. Like I said, you can go ahead and just build him with a bunch of crit damage because he's already going to provide that crit buff himself. So yeah. And as far as his technique, guys, when he goes before going into the battle, he just gives himself an attack boost. But yes, Yongxing is one of the units that I'm going to be going for in the beginner banner. But there is also 2 other great characters on that banner that you guys can pull for as well. And that other character goes by the name of Brania. Now this unit is the best supporting buffing unit that we have in the game right now. And basically she gives a lot of crit damage and attack to your allies, to all of them, right, by a huge margin. And that's gonna help out the boost of your team. Now, one of the things about Brania, guys, is that on her E ability, which is the ability that you can use the skill on, she can go ahead and give them a further attack boost as well, and also give them a 100% advance on the turn meter, which will have them get basically a extra attack, and it won't take their place of the turn they were at previously. Once they take that extra turn, they'll go back to where they were on the meter. Let's say they were halfway and they get pushed up here from her ability. They'll go ahead and go back to wherever they were in the middle, so they won't lose their place. So that's a very strong ability, and because of that, Brania has a lot of value. And also she can dispel debuffs as well with her E, which is going to be very helpful against those pesky bosses or enemies that debuff your characters, that are going to be trying to you know, put stun on you or like freeze or anything of that nature. She can go ahead and dispel that stuff, and that's her E ability right there. But yeah, Brania is a very highly sought after support unit, and one that I also recommend too as well on the beginner banner. If you guys are wondering who you should pull for, this is also the second unit that I recommend that you guys can go ahead and pull for. Her technique on the battlefield before she gets into the battle is she gives attack to everyone. So pretty solid as well for her technique. But we got one more character to mention, guys, and he is also on the beginner banner, and this guy is really strong as well. Now the person I'm talking about is Welt, and this unit is beastie because he actually pushes the enemies back on the turn gauge, right? Now I want you guys to notice that the enemies are right here, and he's gonna go ahead and use his ultimate, and you're gonna see how he's gonna basically push the enemies back on the turn gauge, and that, what they call it in Honkai Star Rail, is delaying their turn. So when you push yourself up, it's called advancing, and you push yourself down, it's called delaying. So he's gonna go ahead and delay the enemy's turn, and watch this. And this move is so strong because it basically, since he's doing that, you saw how over here he pushed them back. Let me go back a little bit. Check this out. He's gonna do his ultimate again, and then boom, right? he pushed them back. So it's really strong because not only is it going to be pushing the enemies back, that means your allies are going to be able to get more turns and be able to do more damage. And you'll be able to avoid more damage or crowd control in general. This guy's actually broken, and he's one also that's going to be highly sought after as well if you're looking for that more of a crowd control favorite character that you're going for type of playstyle early on in the game. But yeah, Welt is also another monster. All these units honestly are monsters, and you can't go wrong with either of these, because these 5-star units are, you know, they just hold their own and they all do their own unique thing, and they all bring something great to the table. Welt also on his E provides a skill down debuff as well, so it makes the enemy slower, which, remember, the slower you are, the slower it is going to be for you to take your turn on the turn gauge. Speed is a huge thing in turn-based games, guys. So yeah, he's also in a 5-star imaginary unit as well, so he does ends up breaking a enemy that is weak to imaginary. He's gonna go ahead and do the same thing again and delay their action and proc that speed down debuff on them, which is called imprisonment when you proc that. And that's what he procs with his ultimate. You don't need to rely on breaking someone that has imaginary. He can go ahead and do that with his ultimate himself, and it's AoE as well. So yeah, Welt is broken, guys. But yeah, guys, that is all the top 5-star units here in the game, in my opinion. I would love to hear your guys' opinions and thoughts on what you guys think about this list, and who you guys would put in this list instead of any of the units I put in. Looking forward to hearing what you guys' thoughts are on that as well. So yeah, I'm really excited. The game is about to come out on April 26th. It was announced, and we will definitely be making more content all the way to the lead up of Honkai Star Rail and moving forward from that as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and are looking forward to more Honkai Star Rail videos as well. Again, subscribe, like the video if you liked the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. It's your boy Jada. I'm out. Peace.